I don't know how Nikon has achieved it, but what I do know is that many of the files that we created should be impossible with older technology. The performance of the Z system was spectacular, largely because of the flawless nature of the Nikon glass. That's something that I haven't experienced to date, really. You're leaving behind the sense of limitation within this. It creates a freedom in your creativity that becomes unbridled.
Welcome and thank you so much for joining us. Today is a really special day for Nikon because today we're introducing two incredible new cameras, the Nikon Z6 II and the Nikon Z7 II. Now these cameras were designed and inspired from feedback from customers all around the world. So how are they different? Both cameras enjoy significant feature upgrades, dual card slots, dual processors, improved autofocus and eye detect functionality, vertical battery compatibility, even better video performance, a much larger buffer, even faster continuous shooting speeds, a better viewfinder experience, and so much more. Now we're excited to bring these cameras to market, but we're also really excited for the future of Z. It's hard to believe it was only 2 years ago that we launched the Z platform. At the time, we had 2 cameras, 3 lenses, and 1 mount adapter. Fast forward 2 years and the Z family of products now has a total of 6 cameras, 16 lenses, 2 teleconverters, and 1 mount adapter. And there's so much more on the way. By the end of 2021, we will add even more lenses to our line, which will bring the total number of lenses to 24. And these are just the things we could tell you about. Nikon has always been well known for its optics. The promise and the advantage of the Z mount is something that can now be fully appreciated with lenses like the 14-24, 24-70, and 70-200 f2.8 lenses. Even more so with unique designs now in the line, such as the newly announced 50mm f1.2 lens, which delivers the most incredible bokeh. So these new cameras enjoy both the latest technology as well as these cutting-edge optics that were previously impossible to produce on the F mount. The Z mount really enables these cameras to deliver the ultimate imaging experience. To help explain what makes the Z platform and these new cameras in particular so unique, let's go over to our product team in Japan to hear what they have to say.
本日、ニコン Z マウントシステムは新たな章の幕開けを迎えます。映像表現にとって最も大切なのは光です。フルサイズミラーレス機の中で最大口径を誇るニコンの Z マウントはレンズ設計の自由度がより高まったことで多くの光を最高の状態でセンサーに届けることができる理想的なマウントといえます。豊かで美しい光を余すところなく表現として活用できるよう設計しているのがニッコール Z です。今やラインナップはテレコンバータを含め18本となり、システムとして14ミリから400ミリという広い焦点域をカバーしています。そして今日この Z マウントシステムとして新たに加わる Z7 II および Z6 II を発表いたします。ニコンが長年のものづくりの中で一貫しているのは撮影の道具としての使いやすさを追求する姿勢です。プロの方々を含む皆様からのフィードバックをいただきながら手に馴染み撮影に集中でき撮影そのものを楽しんでいただきたい、そんな思いを持ち一人一人がものづくりを行っています。 デュアルエンジンによる高速処理、デュアルスロットの搭載、縦位置バッテリーパックや USB 給電への対応など、第2世代として着実な進化を遂げています。 Z7 II はニッコール Z が届ける豊富な光を45メガピクセルの高画素センサーによって高精細で美しく立体的な映像表現を可能とするモデルです。 Z7 比で3倍の連続撮影可能枚数を実現するとともに、高速連続撮影時の EVF の見えを向上するなど、高画素撮影のワークフローを強化し、最高峰の表現を追求する方々に向けたフルサイズミラーレスカメラです。新しいニッコール Z50mmF1.2S との組み合わせは、繊細な描写と F1.2 ならではの美しいボケを両立したポートレート撮影に最適です。 Z6 II はニッコール Z を生かし、静止画でも動画でも卓越した描写を実現するモデルです。静止画ではコマ速アップとバッファー拡大で動体補足性能を強化し、動画ではプロの現場でも使っていただける機能を搭載しました。幅広い撮影表現を求める方々に向けたフルサイズミラーレスカメラです。5本になったニッコール ZF1.8 シリーズは高い光学性能を発揮し、静止画動画両方で活躍できる単焦点レンズです。 Z6 II と組み合わせることで、動画表現に欠かせない美しいボケを広角から中望遠まで幅広い画角でお楽しみいただけます。最大口径のマウントで光を生かした最高画質を実現できるのはニコンの Z マウントシステムだけです。本日より Z マウントシステムの新しいショーが始まります。
As you heard from our team in Japan, the Z mount truly enables this system to deliver the ultimate imaging experience. We're so proud to be able to bring you these products that we think can help inspire your creativity even further. These are products created with you in mind and designed from your feedback. Now, I'm sure many of you really want to dig into what other new technology has been added to these new cameras. And for that, let's go over to Mark Cruz. Mark, it's all yours.
Hi, I'm Mark Cruz, Senior Product Manager at Nikon, and today we have two exciting new full-frame cameras to share with you. The versatile Z6 II, a multimedia powerhouse that excels in speed, image quality, and video performance. And the Z7 II, an ultra-high resolution camera that produces purely spectacular images. Both of these cameras are additions to the Z line and pack some pretty exciting feature upgrades, including increased processing power, new autofocusing features, greater buffer capacity, faster frame rates and stills, 4K 60p in video, dual card slots, and the ability to attach a vertical battery grip. And that's just for starters. While both cameras have far more similarities than they have differences, those differences do set them apart in very distinctive ways. There's a lot to talk about, so let's begin with the Z6 II. Following up on the highly acclaimed Z6, the Z6 II brings mirrorless versatility to a whole new level. The 24.5 megapixel BSI sensor allows for intensively detailed images, ultra-shallow depth of field, and particularly clean low-light shots. And now, the Z6 II is even more powerful thanks to the inclusion of two X-Speed 6 processing engines. Two engines means 3.5 times the buffer capacity of the Z6. It also means faster frame rates, eking out 14 frames per second in stills. And it means minimized blackout time in the viewfinder and LCD so that you can track moving subjects better during sports and action sequences. The Z6 II is amazing to use when shooting in low light. It can achieve ISOs up to 51,200, and paired with the 24 megapixel sensor and dual X-Speed processors, noise is effectively reduced by maintaining both high sensitivity and resolution. The Z6 II can focus in half the light as its predecessor when not using the low light AF function, making subject acquisition more reliable. Using a 273-point phase detect autofocus system, the Z6 II offers remarkable coverage throughout the frame, and that means subjects can be tracked more precisely, even close to the far edges. And while the AF system offers all the same options as the Z6, the new camera has taken eye detection autofocus for humans and pets a few steps further. First, we've added an option to use it in wide area AF mode, making it possible to set the camera to only look for eyes within a smaller area of the frame. This isolates the main subject from other people, animals, or distracting objects outside of the wide area. The second big step is that the eye detection autofocus in normal or wide area setting is now available in video mode, a huge benefit to keep footage looking professional and sharp on the eyes. And finally, we've made the menu options more intuitive, allowing quick one-menu access to all of the autofocus options. Looking for a compact, full-frame mirrorless camera that can handle fast action? With a burst speed that maxes out at 14 frames per second, a 2-frame increase from the Z6, you can capture decisive moments with ease. And to keep up with the fast frame rates, the Z6 II has a buffer capacity of 124 shots. That's 3.3 times the buffer size of the Z6. The Z6 II has a number of features that enable you to get extra creative in camera, and they're easy to use. For example, if you're a night landscape or astrophotographer and like to do long exposure photography, you'll be happy to know that for the first time in a Z-series camera, you can set the shutter speed as slow as 900 seconds without the need for an external remote. If you're a fine artist or like to experiment with creating unique looking images, you'll love the multiple exposure options available in this camera. Multiple exposures can be created while shooting consecutive photos or combining previously shot pictures using the retouch menu, no matter when each one was shot. For the video shooter and photographers looking to creatively add context to their imagery, time-lapse photography comes standard. The Z6 II not only offers the traditional interval timer mode as well as the in-camera time-lapse, but it also includes a new mode that gives you the best of both worlds, allowing you to retain your individual JPEG and RAW files while the camera automatically creates a time-lapse movie file from the series of images. And for the macro photographer, product photographer, or fine detail shooter, the Z6 II has a focus shift shooting mode. In this mode, you can set the camera to take a series of photos while it incrementally adjusts the focus position between pictures. Afterward, when using third-party software, you can combine or focus stack the photos into a single image with surreal depth of field and sharpness. This is a suite of great features with one goal in mind: simplify the steps needed to create complex types of images. And we're not done yet, because the Z6 II has another feature for anyone trying to apply some unique looks. Built into the camera are 20 preset filters, otherwise known as creative picture controls, that can be applied and seen in real time when shooting photos or videos. The filters can be further customized to put your own personal touch onto your images. Perhaps one of the best reasons to use a Z6 II is for the video capabilities. As the best camera for video that Nikon has ever put out, the Z6 II offers 4K UHD at 60p, a first for Nikon, as well as full HD at 120p, including built-in slow motion options. And when it comes to flexibility for users at all skill levels and shooting requirements, there are multiple options, including the choice to shoot 8-bit in camera for easy and immediate use, 10-bit N-Log or HDR HLG output to an external recorder for more advanced video recording, or 12-bit RAW recording through an optional paid firmware update for ultimate control of your footage. And by the way, if you're used to using non-Nikon lenses on a video shoot, you'll be happy to know that the Z6 II now gives you the ability to reverse the rotation of the focus ring on your Nikkor Z lenses, so that focus pulls remain consistent with your muscle memory. The Z6 II comes equipped with 5-axis in-camera image stabilization with up to 5 stops of compensation. Whether you're shooting handheld in low light, during fast-moving sequences, or during video recording, you can have confidence that the camera can keep your images sharp and steady. A big upgrade in the Z6 II for photographers looking for more peace of mind is the addition of a second card slot. In slot number 1, you can use an ultra-reliable and fast CF Express or XQD card. In the second slot, you can use the more popular SD card. This gives you options and flexibility. Using both slots at the same time means you can use them for overflow, backup, or separating RAW and JPEG photos. Whether you're sharing images with a client or for recreational purposes, you'll love the convenience of Nikon's Snapbridge app. Always connected to your iOS or Android device, it's the fastest, easiest way to get your Z6 II photos out and into the world, thanks to the intuitive, ever-evolving app and the camera's built-in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. As an added bonus, you can now get your Z6 II firmware upgrades directly from the Snapbridge app. When you open up the app, it'll automatically check for updates and send them wirelessly to the camera, making the firmware update process simple and stress-free on the go. Many Nikon owners already have the ENEL15 batteries because they're fully compatible with all of Nikon's full-frame Z and many DSLR cameras. While those batteries are still compatible with the Z6 II, the camera now includes the new ENEL15C version, which can take more shots and allows the camera to be powered by an external power source while the camera is still being used. This is great for in-studio work, time lapses, video streaming, and more. Like the Z5, this means that live streaming from your Z6 II can be done with a simple USB-C cable without requiring complex setups. The USB-C cable will both power the camera and allow a video feed when using the Nikon webcam utility. For the first time in a Z-series camera, the Z6 II is compatible with a full-featured battery grip. The MBN11 accepts 2 ENEL15C batteries, giving you 1.9 times more battery performance. It has a shutter release, dials, and customizable function button for ergonomic and comfortable shooting. The battery closest to the door is hot swappable, so you can keep refreshing your battery without turning off the camera or draining the second battery. And finally, a perk for video shooters and studio photographers. The MBN11 has a built-in Usbc port, which is in addition to the one already in the camera. This will come in handy when you want to power the camera using one port and communicate with software or other equipment with the other. It's pretty smart. Now, truly the best part of the Z platform is its revolutionary mount, which is what makes the optical excellence of Nikkor Z Lenses possible. The mount is uniquely designed for superior optical performance thanks to its large diameter opening and short flange focal distance. This means we can create lenses with extraordinary resolving power. These lenses will impress in how they suppress aberrations, minimize focus breathing, especially important for video shooters and landscape photographers. They're also extraordinarily sharp to the edges, even at wide open apertures, and operation is virtually silent, making them a perfect choice for video as well. We currently have 16 Nikkor Z lenses in our lineup, many of which are highly acclaimed. This includes a full range of f1.8 prime lenses, the complete f2.8 Trinity, a 50mm 1.2, and the 58mm f0.95 Noct, which in itself is a feat of engineering. We also plan to add 8 more exciting lenses by the end of 2021, raising the total number of native lenses to 24. Of course, the Z6 II is also compatible with approximately 360 Nikon f-mount lenses when used with the mount adapter FTZ, so you can still enjoy the unique characteristics of a lot of the Nikon lenses with your new Z camera. When you buy a Nikon, there's an expectation that your camera will be reliable, durable, comfortable, and made from the best quality materials. With the Z6 II, you'll get a camera armored in a lightweight but highly durable magnesium alloy chassis. You'll get a camera protected by extensive weather sealing so that you don't have to stop what you're doing in bad weather. You'll get a camera that's ergonomic, intuitive, and comfortable in the hands. You'll get a camera with a high-resolution 3.6 million dot quad VGA electronic viewfinder built exclusively with Nikon glass, offering a natural viewing experience. You'll also get a touch-operable, tilting, high-resolution LCD monitor, giving you more control and more opportunities to shoot from unique angles. And you'll get an intuitive menu navigation interface that's intelligently organized, customizable, and equipped with a built-in help guide for when you want to learn more about a specific feature. These are all intangibles that end up shaping your experience with a camera, and they're all truly Nikon. So with the Z6 II, you get the latest technology. Dual card slots, dual X-Speed 6 processors, vertical battery grip compatibility, even better video performance, larger buffer, even faster continuous shooting speed, improved autofocus and eye detect functionality, better viewfinder experience, and more power options than ever before. The Z6 II is not just a next generation camera with indispensable new features, it's a true multimedia powerhouse. Moving on to the ultra high resolution Z7 II, this is the camera if you're looking for superior high-resolution image quality and superior dynamic range. You'll notice that most of what I just talked about in the Z6 II applies to the Z7 II, including the addition of 2 card slots and compatibility with a vertical battery grip. So let's focus on where the Z7 II differs most. Truly setting the Z7 II apart from the Z6 II is its 45.7 megapixel BSI CMOS sensor. This sensor works in conjunction with the dual XSpeed 6 image processors to achieve extraordinary image quality with wide dynamic range, efficient light gathering, true color rendering, and subtle tonal and textural details. High-resolution cameras are not traditionally designed for speed, but the Z7 II is no slouch. With a burst speed that maxes out at 10 frames per second, a bump up from the Z7, you can capture decisive moments with ease while retaining the incredible details made possible by the camera's 45 megapixel sensor. And despite the large amounts of data being transferred to the memory card, the buffer can handle 77 shots. That's 3.3 times the buffer size of the Z7. The Z7 II includes a phase detect autofocus system with 493 points, covering 90% of the frame. That means you can compose and place your focal point virtually anywhere in the frame. And just like the Z6 II, you have a variety of autofocus options, including the newly introduced wide area eye detect AF for humans and animals in stills or videos. Benefiting from the combination of the ultra-high resolution CMOS sensor and the dual XSpeed 6 image processing engines, the Z7 II can achieve a native ISO as low as 64. One of the main advantages in shooting at such a low ISO is the ability to shoot at wide apertures in bright daylight or during flash photography without overexposing the highlights in your image. On the high ISO side, the Z7 II maxes out at 25,600 native, retaining accurate colors and fine details in low light. The Z7 II in its rich feature set brings ultra-high resolution images to new heights. Building on the advantages of the Z platform, this camera maximizes the light gathering capabilities of the Z mount and matches beautifully with our fast-growing lineup of Nikkor Z S-line lenses. The Z7 II adds in next-generation features and functionality, and is the camera you'll want with you when every little detail matters. We're elevating the Z7 II and Z6 II in significant ways. More processing power, more speed, more buffer capacity, more card slots, more battery grip options, more autofocus options, more video frames per second, more efficient operability, and more intelligent than ever before. The Z6 II will be shipping in November and the Z7 II in December, so keep an eye out for those at your favorite authorized Nikon dealer. And with that, I'll send it back to Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Truly amazing stuff. Now, if you're like me, then you really appreciate understanding the technology and what makes these products tick. But while features are cool, it's even more fascinating to see how these cameras perform in the hands of creative people. And that's why over the last few months, we've worked with photographers and filmmakers all around the world to put these cameras to the test. So later today at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Time, we're hosting a very special 2-hour, 2-part virtual panel discussion with live Q&A with some of these amazing creatives. We hope you'll join us for that. For more information, be sure to check our website at nikonusa.com. We hope you enjoyed this first look at these 2 exciting new cameras, and we look forward to bringing you even more exciting news from Nikon soon. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the next chapter of Z.